Hi, I'm Richy.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
And we're the hosts of the Well podcast.
And in this show, we're going to talk about all things marketing related and the things that RA marketing can do for financial advisors, as well as what we're doing in our own financial advisory practices.
Yeah, like Andrew said, we are both active financial advisors. So we're in the field doing what you guys do. And so in this show, we'll share the good, the bad, and the ugly.
This episode of The Well starts now.
All right, welcome back. We're in season 3, episode number 6.
Episode 6. Yep.
Episode number 6.
What are we talking about today? I think the fall. When you're watching this, the fall is right around the corner.
Oof,
right?
It is right around the corner.
Approaching Labor Day. Not quite Labor Day yet, but
Yep.
approaching it. So
we're currently approaching July right now.
yeah, 4th of July is coming up. We're that's next week. So we're in the hot season of the Indiana summers. We complained about that last time, and I'll keep complaining about it.
Always complain about that.
Yep.
Humidity.
Yeah.
But the corn's coming up. It's looking good.
Yeah.
Crops are up. Everything's green.
I would say it's already knee high.
Oh, for
Knee
sure.
high by the 4th of July. Isn't that what they say? You got to have.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing. Yeah,
That's
it's a thing. Got to be knee high by the 4th of July. Otherwise, you're not going to get a good harvest.
Never heard that.
So I would say we're definitely past that.
Oh, for
most
sure.
Of the fields.
We're hip high.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's we're starting to see
I think
some
you guys
tassels.
call that something different, but hip high is the corn.
Okay.
So
high.
it's growing nice.
Yeah, it is good. It's good. We're seeing a lot of this. Honestly, aside from the fact that it's really hot and humid, like I always joke, like I don't mind humidity if there's a reason for it. And the reason for it in the Midwest is it's beautiful. Like the flowers are coming in, the plants are growing, and all that.
I prefer it with water.
Yeah.
You know, if I could have like an ocean there and a boat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My dream is
you're a landlocked state, my man. So.
I know. I have a weird dream to be in a landlocked state. But that's what I want to get. I was just telling you this the other day. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Great Loop. It's just like a magical thing. You could start in Lake Michigan, go down through the river system to the Gulf of America, and then circle down
USA, baby.
and then circle down around Florida. You could go to the Bahamas. You go up the East Coast into Canada, back into the Great Lakes. So most people do it in a year, and you're moseying. You're not like speeding along. You could do it, I think, in like 3 months if you really wanted to. But you get like a 50-foot yacht. I'm doing it.
I mean, the nice thing about this business is once the AUM business has grown, you can run the AUM business from your boat.
That's right.
Right. You can make your phone calls and hold your Zoom meetings and do all that stuff from your boat.
By then, I better have some junior advisors in there doing it too. So
you walk out and hey, I'm gonna go. I'll be gone
right.
for a year.
Yeah.
So you do your thing.
But in order for me to get to that point, I've got to keep doing marketing,
especially in the fall.
That's right.
Especially in the fall.
Yeah.
If you watched the last episode, we were kind of harping on you to make sure you do your summer marketing. But I mean, let's just be honest. I think a lot of people take months off or time off, or maybe not as serious about their marketing in the summer. But if you've been doing this for any number of years, you know the 2 best times of the year to market are spring and the fall.
Yep.
And that's just because I don't know why that is.
I don't know why either.
Maybe it's just because that's what the industry has done.
Right. Yeah, just you're distracted in the summer, you're distracted at Christmas, so in between those 2 things you're good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you prefer spring or fall, personally?
I think I prefer the spring. I don't know. It's because it's like from a, I don't know. I think I prefer the spring.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Like it's kind of weird. I don't know if this is true or not. Like my personal perception is that the industry likes fall better than spring. But I don't know if that's true or not. It's kind of how I view it. I think I'm with you. I like spring better because fall, it's just kids just get back to school and you're doing sports, you're doing all that stuff. And then, Thanksgiving, Christmas, like you're just dealing with a lot of stuff at the end where the spring's just wide open. Like, you're dealing with.
There's new opportunity. It feels like spring, and maybe it's a mental thing, but spring is full of new opportunity.
Yeah, it's a new year, new thing. Yeah, but nonetheless, fall you got to do it. I mean,
that's right.
Clearly, you got to have it. Now I know this because we talked about it before the show, but I also know, even if we didn't talk about it, your fall is scheduled.
Yep.
I'm sure it is.
Yep.
My fall is not scheduled. I do know what I'm doing, but I don't have it like locked out. Now, do you have your venues are we talking like booked? Like
they're booked. Yeah. Okay. Well, I take that back. There are 2 dates in September that we haven't officially locked down. One of them is because we haven't decided on a venue, and one of them is because we haven't decided if we want to do the venue that we've picked. The venue, that one, we've done it twice, and the event itself has gone well, but it is the most expensive one we do, and we have not seen the return on investment that we've seen from much more cost-effective venues. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to do. There's 2 prospects outstanding from the last time we did it that like if we close those,
It'd be worth it.
it's like, okay, yeah, we'll go back, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think we probably will go back. But it's just, we've got it booked, but it's like tentatively booked. Everything else is booked and paid for and done all the way through. I think our last one is November 11th is what we're doing.
Okay.
Is it the 11th? Or, yeah, it's a week and a half before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So whatever that date is. And yeah, we're excited because we're going to try to do half of the events are going to be traditional dinners, and half of the events, and that's basically what we did in the spring, are going to be the experience style. And that experience style is just, that's where it's at for me. I love that. The dinners are good. They're productive. Definitely really good ROI on several of the dinners that we've done. But I just enjoy the experience so much more. It's just, to me, it's just a much more enjoyable experience. And I think the consumers enjoy it too.
Mm-hmm.
And we always get a call, this is so different. And
Yep.
the last one I went to, I'm like, well, don't go to that one anymore.
Yeah, you're in luck. You don't have to do those anymore.
We'll take care of you from this point forward.
That's right.
But yeah, we're doing about half and half.
So when you say experience, I know you've done flowers. You've done.
Yeah, we're doing flowers. We do. We found a candle shop that they don't have a big enough shop themselves, but they will come to a venue that we rent, and then they'll do the candle pouring thing there. Because I know that always worked really well up in Fisher. So that's we're doing the candles at the same place that we did flowers last time. Actually, that's our next seminar is a flowers event, and then we're going to do another flowers event, and then we're going to do another like afternoon tea thing. We did it wasn't a whiskey tasting, but it was kind of like a drinks and charcuterie one. That was our last one we did, and that went pretty well. I think we'll try to squeeze one of those in if we can, because that venue was fun. But one of the things we're thinking about doing, and we haven't scheduled it, but it would be a December one if we did it, would be like with the flower shop doing Christmas wreaths, come and build a Christmas wreath for, because that's something that people will be taking home, put on their door and all that good stuff. So that's something we're thinking about doing, but just a seminar in December is always tough. And it's like, I don't know if it's going to be worth it.
I'm tempted though too. Same thing. Because we ran them in December and they produced.
Yeah. We got business from them. So it's just like, but do I want that busyness, so to speak,
Yeah, deal with the holidays
in December? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Now, do you, I remember a while back, I can't remember what episode, we talked about doing dinners, serving it during the presentation or after. What did you settle on?
The last two, we've done it where we serve during.
Okay.
And it went really well. I mean, I didn't have any problems with it. My favorite part, and you get out there way sooner. I don't think it hurt us at all. The first time, so we've done it twice. The first time we did it, it was a little funky because it was a set menu of, I think there were 5 things on the menu. And like one was a pork chop, one was a steak, one was a chicken thing, and one was a fish thing, and one was a vegetarian thing. And because of the way the kitchen handled it, like all the steaks came out. Oops, sorry, Ethan.
Uh-oh.
All the steaks came out.
Ethan. Sorry, dude.
And then all the pork came out, and then like they came out in stages because like they all had different cook times or something. And so that was a little weird. So instead of it all coming out at once, it was like, hey, half the people got their food, and then the other like third of the people got their, and there's like there's like the 2 or 3 vegetarian people got their things last. And so that I didn't love that, because instead of it being like I couldn't just take a break and say, all right, we're gonna wait for the food, because it would have been like a 15-minute break. So I just kept rolling. And the staff did a fantastic job of keeping it really subtle, and so it wasn't noisy. And I didn't handle it terribly well because it distracted me, and I was like, are we getting, like, I kind of like it threw me off a little bit.
Get that.
But then the second night it was the same deal, and I knew it was coming, so we just rolled with it. And I set the expectation at the beginning. All right, so because there's different things in the menu, we're probably gonna have food coming out at different times, but we'll make sure everybody gets their meal. And just be patient if you order something that's a little different than your neighbor.
That's what it did.
And it went well. I was worried the first time that we would lose appointments, like people would get up and go, but we didn't. And the other thing that was kind of a mental shift for me, I think we talked about this, I'm not sure. I'm done with the whole begging people for appointments thing. If they don't want to set an appointment, I'm not going to chase them down at the door and be like, why didn't you set an appointment? Why did the people that are going to get up and go as soon as the thing's over, they're going to get up and go anyway. So I'm just going to focus on the ones that aren't getting up and going, and just going to focus on the good ones that are there to actually set an appointment. So that was kind of a little bit of a mental shift, because I was worried about that with having the meal come out. Like, oh man, a bunch of people are probably just going to get up and go. And I thought about it afterwards. I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. They probably weren't going to set an appointment if we waited to serve the meal until later, and we could corner them a little easier. And even if I could corner them a little easier, do I really want that appointment?
They'll probably schedule and not show up.
Right, exactly.
And then you're chasing them, and it's this whole game that you don't want to play anyways.
Yep.
Yeah.
So been really happy with that.
That's just an experience thing.
Yeah.
That literally, you're just hungry in the beginning. You'll take anybody. You're like, but as you've done 20, 30, the experience is, grown. You're just like, no, I'm good.
Yep.
If you want to, good. If you don't, that's fine too.
Yeah. And you've changed some stuff up with yours recently as well, with the kind of your positioning.
Yep.
In your seminar. You were telling Keith and I about it the other day, and I was like, oh, man, that's really good.
Yeah, I did. I try to. We were also during that same conversation. It's unique in this business because if you make a change, you really don't know if it worked for like 2 months after.
Right.
So, I'm at the point where it's dialed in enough that I'm just tweaking like one thing and trying to change everything. But I do the same thing where I feed the meals in the middle, and I don't. It's funny. Just a tip is just figure out the objections and handle them before they happen. Right. So like you said, like, the food's going to come out slow. You just handled it before. Now nobody's worried about anything. I will say I just did one in, which one was that? One before, I think it was in Fortville. Staff.
Taxman,
Taxman.
Yeah.
Staff understood the assignment, or the staff understood their assignment. Like they knew what I'm there for, what I'm trying to do, and they supported it so well. But when the food came out, it was all one meal. Everybody got the same exact meal. Mm-hmm. They delivered them in batches of 4, like minutes apart, like 2, 3, 4 minutes in between the batches. Mm. So like you said, I usually do when the food comes out, I say, okay, let's take a break right here and we'll pick it back up. Problem is I did that and then only 4 people are eating and then another 4 and then another 4. It was like a 10, 15 minute break that I was not trying to do. So I ended up going back into it, but I've never had it where it never works the same. It's always different. You just have to, it is what it is. You're going to get your food. We're adults. You eat it. I'm going to keep going.
Yep. I can tell you with Taxman because that's the same company that owns Upseller.
Okay.
You work with Ashley? Is that who you work with, the event manager?
I think so.
Yeah.
Hannah does that. I think that's her though.
Yeah. I can give you some tips on her. She is fantastic, but there's a couple of things that you kind of have to ask for with her, and she'll do it. But that's the first time we went to Upseller, we had all kinds of issues. Yeah. And we worked with her and made it good for the second one. And she's really, really good. But I think if you don't dictate it, she has her own set way of doing things, and it's just like, hey, that's not ideal. Let's not do it that way. And she's like, okay, let's change it. So, she's really, really good. But anyway,
I think the biggest change that I made this year for me, and it's just been a fresh air to me, just as a personality, is it started out with that we've talked about it before, that celebrity, like I come in and present and leave. But what that's turned into, honestly, is so much free space for me. I do like, I'm an athlete. I grew up playing basketball, football, like. Before a game, I have headphones on. I'm visualizing the game. I'm going through the plays. I'm drawing them out. I'm writing. I'm listening to music. I'm praying. Like I'm mentally prepping and preparing so that I can get on that court and I know what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. Before, I get a little bit stressed out about people. Like, I love people, but I don't necessarily like get energized by people. Mm-hmm. I like to put energy into them and then I need to reset. So the problem with me before doing the entire seminar from A to Z is I'm like totally worn out. Like we talked about, I have to go home, like heat my back and like ibuprofen, take a nap just to come back to do the dinner because I'm working against kind of like my biology, like my personality. So doing the celebrity thing has been good because I do think it set the right expectations, perception for the people. But for me personally, I can go up, now we work with the venues and we always say, hey, here's how we work. He needs a place that's like hidden that, he could go and be and then come out, do the presentation and then go and eat after. But I use that time, man, just to I call it my like little pilot prep. And I just get mentally prepared. I go through the rhythms. I go through the first 2 minutes of my speech and then now it's like go time and it's like I could just come in and do it. And then when it's over, even better, I could go debrief with myself. Before it's like now I have to stand around, like talk to everybody, get the appointments, like do stuff that really is very, very draining to me. Where now I can just go and relax, and it's just been. I know that's not good for everybody. For me, it's been wildly
good,
successful. I've just felt such a pressure release when I could just go up there and debrief and chill for a second, kind of rebuild, and then come back in and do it. So
no, that's good. I think like knowing yourself and knowing what you have, what works best for you is important, because if you're kind of dreading the event because of all the stuff you don't like to do, like that's going to come through in your presentation too. And you're gonna be nervous and you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
I know that right after this, I'm gonna have to do the part that I hate. And it's not good. I did something for this last one that I have not done in ages. I practiced my presentation.
Oh yeah.
Went all the way through it, front to back.
Yeah.
Like I did make a ton of changes. So I needed to,
Yep.
but I haven't done that forever. And I was like, I felt so much more prepared going into the actual presentation. And I was like, everything was smoother. I didn't miss any of my own cues. And I was just like, oh, I should probably do this more often. I should actually practice what I'm going to say. And kind of like you said, like I was preparing,
Yeah.
a couple days before I did it once. And then the day of I did it in the morning and just kind of walked myself through it. And I think it made the presentation itself much smoother.
Yeah, much smoother. And like you said, you've done it so many times. You could say the exact same thing, but if now you're preparing and you're intentionally saying extra things at a certain point, it'll just make it so much more effective. The other change I made that I think you were alluding to also is at the beginning of the seminar. So Keith always does this thing. If you've heard him on the stage, I don't know. I think every time I've heard him, he does it. I think he does it, but he'll basically make the crowd say yes. So he'll say whatever line he's going to say, and then he'll say, "Is that you?" Say yes. And then they all, yes. Like, okay, I didn't hear you say yes. Yes. Like, and then throughout the presentation, like he'll have those moments where he makes them say yes and they repeat. So I'm like, it works so well because I've been in his audience where I'm saying yes. And it makes me listen to what he's saying more because I know he's going to call out that and I want to make sure I participate. So anyways, at the start of this last one, I got up there and I, did everybody get their food, their drinks. So we did a whiskey one. Everybody's like, yeah, okay, cool. I moved the TV over because it needed to be. And then I'm like, okay, before I get into the content, and I just want to make sure I'm in the right room. If you're in this room and you are already retired or you plan on retiring one day, say me. Everybody goes, me. Okay. Now, if you're in this room and you have everything figured out, you understand your tax integration, you understand, Social Security, you've got an income plan, you have projections, you've got, there's nothing you're worried about. Everything's completely figured out. Say me. It's dead silent. Like nobody says me, and everybody starts giggling. And I said, okay, a lot less me's that time. And I said, so perfect. So my job tonight then is to add confidence and clarity to your retirement so that you can say me. And so they're like, oh, okay. And then I got into it. But just that one little thing now throughout the night, if after I talked about taxes or something like that, I would say, now who in the room thinks taxes is going up? Say me, or whatever. So now they're like engaged throughout the whole thing. I was like, thank you, Keith, for that inspiration. But it was magical. It really did completely change the presentation interaction.
Yeah. I think that's it's a genius idea. I did try a little bit of that in my last one. It didn't work as well for me, not because I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a great idea. That's why I tried it. Personality-wise, I don't think I was as good at it. Like my delivery wasn't as smooth there. And I think the room has a lot to do with it too. That's what
it does.
we were kind of debriefing afterwards and I was like, that room just didn't respond as well to that.
Yeah.
And Bailey, the gal that helps us with our thing, she's like, it felt a little bit like I was in a classroom again. Because like the teacher was like saying, hey, interact with me. And it felt a little bit forced. And I was like, that was probably me more than anything. But it also could have been the room. So I think you do have to know yourself from a presentation style standpoint. Because like I tried it to an extent, didn't work super well for me. But what I took away from it that I'm going to keep doing is rather than asking for the feedback, I'm going to give the feedback and say, who wants what we just described? Because I added a lot more solutions to my presentation now, where instead of it just talking about the risks, I'm now also talking about the solutions that I have typically seen work well, and I give real life examples. Say, we all want that, right? And like kind of get the acknowledgement.
You're getting yeses throughout.
Getting the yeses throughout. So I think what I'm going to try for my next one's a little bit more subtle of that same kind of approach, because I think that's my presentation style. I think will work better that way. Because me forcing it through, it worked. And I got great appointments, but I was just like, it didn't feel like me. I was just like, I feel like I'm trying to be Keith here, and it didn't work for me. But it clearly works, and it was like, I can see why Keith and Richy are doing that, because it absolutely is effective. And it's just, I think for me, it was like, I think that's what we always said, like take the ideas that are good and make them your own, adopt them into your process and your style, and don't try to copy exactly what somebody else is doing.
Right.
Take what other people are doing and say, that's a good idea. I'm going to modify it for how I present or for how I like to engage with people. So, but I for what's worth, I thought it was a great idea, and I was like, I'm going to try that. And it was a good idea.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then kind of echoing what you said earlier too, with I'm not going to chase leads. That was the other thing that I went in on. The last 2 seminars I've done it, and I've seen, we're still working through the appointments, so I don't have like the full data, but I know right now we're already equal to our typical show rate. And I still have like 4, I think 4 on the first one and 2 on the second one to go through. So if they show up, we're going to beat our typical show rate for the appointments. And, but that whole message is like, I just at the very end say, look, I don't want to let you off the hook. Like, I'm a small business. This is how I get clients. Like, this is how we do it. I don't want to let you off the hook too easy, but, and I'll kind of stall like that. I'm like, but if you're not serious, just please, like, just don't book an appointment. Like, if you already know if you circle that time and we go through the whole thing and we schedule and you already know you're either going to reschedule or you're not going to show up or you're going to cancel, it's not for you right now. And that's fine. If you're not ready for a jet book, don't. But if you are, I go to work for my clients. And if you're ready for that, I'm going to go to work for you and we're going to get this thing done. Yeah. But if that's not you, don't circle it. It's all good. When I walked out the first time after doing that, I thought to myself, like, okay, I'll probably get, a third of the room. I was thinking kind of like that. I got an overwhelming response. I was very surprised by that. All but one lady has been very serious in the appointments. That lady is the nail lady.
You told me about her.
Yeah, tells me she's on the way to the office and then doesn't show up for 50 minutes. So I call her and she's like, oh, I'm getting my nails done. You just told me you're on the way here, but now you're getting your nails
she
done.
Had to stop off and get her. She's on her way to the nail office.
It was just like, man, and it was a 6 o'clock appointment. So I stayed all late for it. It's all good. People are people. You're going to have them. But anyways, definitely do that because it also put it in perspective where I'm not desperate. Mm-hmm. You're not desperate. Don't be desperate. If you're really chasing, they could smell that. That commission breath.
Oh yeah.
And I think it just put it in better alignment where I'm here to do a job. I'm actually going to help you, but you got to put in the work too.
Yeah. I've been leaning a lot heavier on you got to have assets for this to really work.
There's nothing playing around.
I specifically said that in the last one. I was like, look, if all you have is Social Security, I will absolutely help you with that. Like I will help you optimize your Social Security. I have no problems with that whatsoever. But the process I just described, it only makes sense if you have assets because I can't build a plan around just Social Security. I'll help you with it. So let me know if that's what you need help with, and we'll do it. But I think as a result, kind of the same ideas. Like as a result, maybe there's a couple of appointments I don't get because they didn't. They were planning on coming in, but now they realize that there's not much I can really do for them. And maybe some people are turned off by that. I don't know. But if they're coming to that seminar for a financial planner, like. And you're going to ask for an appointment. Like, what do you think they're going to ask you for an appointment about?
Like, you have to assume.
You want to get together and like Daily Links? No, we want to talk about your retirement. So
you don't have to say a number or anything like that if you don't want to. But are you moving toward setting a minimum or anything like that, or what are your?
I think no, not yet. The problem is, in certain markets where I'm at, if I have a minimum, it's going to exclude some people that are really good opportunities.
Yeah.
So. No, not really. I mean, there are some minimums strictly because there's only so much I can do.
Right.
But I would say that the smallest client I can realistically help is somebody that has around $50,000 of assets. Because beyond that, there's like I'm not going to lock them up or put a ton of money at risk because it's like, look,
you can't charge them enough to make it make sense.
Right. Yeah. There's not a lot I can help them with. So yeah, there's probably that kind of baseline. But even if somebody has a little less than that, I'll still meet with them. I'll still help them.
Well, for sure. Yeah.
And I've turned away a few, like not even necessarily based on their asset size, but it's personality mesh was not there. It's like, yeah, I don't think we're a good fit. I told you about that one guy. That was interesting. That was interesting. We'll have to get into that another time. But no, I don't officially have minimums. I think at some point I may.
Yeah.
But I'm probably a year or two away from that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious. I've been exploring it. I don't think I'm gonna do it either. I've thought about even putting it on the website. I think eventually I will. If you have this much and you're 50 plus and you're nearing retirement and you need help, this is for you. Yeah.
I think with your model with potentially getting junior advisors down the road.
Yeah.
That's the only other reason I would say, hey, don't do it because those guys you can feed some of the smaller ones, but it's so hard because I don't want to turn good quality people. And we were talking about the last episode, like the AHA stuff. Like if I say I'll only work with you if you have more than $100,000 and they have $300,000 in their 401k and they don't think of that as an asset that I can potentially help them with.
Yeah.
Well, wait, I don't want to lose that opportunity. So I don't, it's
kind of like, I'm sure you could resonate. It's not necessarily dollar amount. It's like, it's seriousness of the person.
Yeah.
Like that's really the key. Like if you have $1 million or 50,000, if you're willing to work with me and you're easy and you're going to actually do what you say you're going to do and it's like, okay, I'll take that on, but I'm certainly not going to chase it if they're,
Right.
Yeah. If it's not chaseable.
Right. Some of those, and that's, I was getting at with the smaller markets, like the rural markets out in Eastern Indiana that I've been working with. I mean, probably half the room doesn't have more than $150,000, but some of those, they're just so underserved. They have nobody else helping them.
That's great.
So if I come in and say, hey, this is the recommendation, it's not a ton of money for me, but it doesn't matter because I'm helping them where they are. And who knows, maybe they'll come into more or they'll refer people to me and all that because I gave them the same level of service that I would give to somebody that was $2 million. So yeah, I think this sounds, I don't know, this doesn't sound bad. I don't think I can't really afford to be picky in those smaller markets because if I start turning people away, I'm not going to. Yeah. There's some seminars where I'm going to get blanked because it's just like, well, the room just doesn't have it, but it does have good clients and good advocates that I can later, I can make clients. So
I know we're deep into this episode, but this is good stuff. I'm going to keep going. Yeah, because I've got questions.
Okay.
So you are much better than me at paperwork and process. Like you're just much better at it than me. So one thing that I have messed up, I'm just curious how you do it, is I'll give you an example. I had this couple come in. This was, it was April. It must have been early April, I think. Sign them on, open the Schwab accounts, account numbers, everything. But they're old 401ks. I can't transfer them. They have to. So I said, okay, we'll open up the accounts. I'll give you the account numbers. You guys take them, do the thing. It's 2 months later and they still haven't done it. Yeah. And I'm still like, hey, client, how's it going? Are you going to do this? Cause it's a great account. It's about 800,000. I would love to bring that over. Yeah. But I can't do it for them. So how do you handle that? Do you call them with the client? Do you that's
what I do.
You just straight up call Fidelity for them, with them, whatever.
I set the expectation right away. I'm just like, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to open these accounts. And if I can ACAT, if I think I can ACAT, then I say, listen, what we're going to try to do is ACAT. We're going to try to do an ACAT, and I explain how that works. I was like, but this is Empower, or this is Fidelity, or this is whoever. And I have seen it work with ACAT, but I've also seen it not work with ACAT. So we're going to submit the ACAT. We'll know in 2 or 3 days whether or not it's going to work. If it works, great. I love it when it works because it's just
that's boom. Fantastic when it works fast.
When it does it, when I know it's not going to work.
You do the paper version or the online?
Online. Yeah, I do everything electronically.
Yeah.
If I can. There's certain custodians where I know it's never going to work. Yeah. Like Empower's one of them.
Yep.
I know that Empower requires you to have an account number, and they require you to use their forms.
Yep.
But they also, Empower, secret tip, you can do the transfer electronically if you have the client on the phone with you at the time and you have the account number.
Okay.
So what I'll do is just say, listen, we're going to call Empower together. You're going to be on the phone, and what they're going to make me do, they're going to make you verify that I'm allowed to be on this phone call with you. So I do this all with the client before I call Empower.
Do you do the speaking?
Yes.
Okay. So
so I say, listen, what we're going to do is I'm going to call them. I've got their number here. I'm going to navigate the phone menu. You don't say anything. You don't touch any buttons on the phone.
Yep.
Until I've already explained to the rep that we get on the phone what we're going through.
Okay.
And I'm going to so when they get on the phone, let's say it's Victoria at Empower, whatever her name is. I say, all right, Victoria, my name is Andrew Riis. I'm an investment advisor with, and I'm got our client. We've got a mutual client on the phone, Billy over here. I know you're going to need to verify Billy. But before we do, I'm going to give you context on what we're trying to do here.
Okay.
Billy's a mutual client. He's opened up an account over at Schwab. It's an IRA, and we're trying to transfer his X amount of dollars from this account number over to the Schwab account number. I know you need to verify that you're allowed to talk to me, but I wanted to give you that context. So, Victoria, I got Billy on the phone. Can you do your verification process so that we can get this expedited quickly? And going through that, I've gotten to the point now where I can get those phone calls done in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
If there's not a long wait.
Yep.
Getting into it. And Empower is one. I've done a lot from Empower. Sometimes they will electronically send it. Sometimes they'll make the client get a check, which is a pain, but it's not the end of the world. The other thing that you can prep your client for is all these custodians are going to ask if you've reviewed the special tax law document.
Oh, okay.
And if the client says no, then what they're going to do is say, well, before we can go any further.
Yep.
So they'll take you through the entire process, get the account number, get everything done. And they'll say, oh, by the way, Billy, have you reviewed the special tax document?
Good tip.
And the client will be like, what? No, I don't think so. I was like, oh, shoot. Well, we've got to send that to you in the mail. And then once you've reviewed that, then we can pick this back up.
And what is that, just tax implications?
All it is it's explaining that if you take the money out and you don't put it back into an IRA within 60 days, it's a taxable event. Whatever. So I tell the client that. I'm like, listen, you answer that question however you want to answer it, but this is what that tax document says.
Yeah.
And so I give them that, and I was like, when they get to that question, they're going to ask it. They're going to ask it right at the end. That is an effort on their part to keep the money longer. So tell them that you've read it or not, I don't care. It's up to you. But if you tell them that you have not read it, we're going to have to wait. So, and every single time now, the clients are like, yep, I've seen it. It's like, okay, cool. And they do send it. The custodian is required to send it I think it's once or twice a year anyway.
Yeah, so they have it.
They have received
just don't
it.
Maybe know the name of it.
They don't remember it. And they, the person at Empower or whoever else is like rattling off all this stuff. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I've tried to learn like what are the objections. It's kind of like you said about the centers. Like what are the objections that the custodian's going to have to try to keep the money longer? And I just anticipate those things ahead of time.
Did you build yourself a worksheet, or you just know it?
I just know it.
Yeah,
I just know it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to just build. What I'm going to do is call each of them and say, just, hey, what's your process? I have a client who wants to move.
Schwab has a document for that, by the way.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got a document for that. I can find it. Send it to you.
I told you, paperwork's just on my.
They get a whole thing.
And
on
I'm just like, I'm working against myself here.
Yeah.
I have at least. I can think of 6 off the top of my head accounts I'm waiting on them to transfer. And I would like those to transfer, but I messed it up. I didn't do it for them. I didn't schedule anything. So now it's just totally like, let me send them brownies and say like, or let me send them a text and let me get a call. But to get them to stop their busy life to go do that thing. So I'm going to make it like you're doing. Part of my process. We're going to do it this way.
Yeah. That's so I have workflows in Wealthbox, and that's exactly what it is. So like I have the workflow is open the Schwab accounts or whatever. And then
you just do it over the phone, then phone call with them, or do you?
Usually, I've had a few in the office that we do it together, but most of the time, I'm trying to not overwhelm them in that appointment. So we're opening the account. Once the account gets established, I'm like, okay, it takes a couple of days to see if the ACAT's going to go through. If it doesn't go through, I'm going to call you on Monday, and we're going to call Empower or we're going to call Fidelity together, and we're gonna get that thing going.
I've kind of moved almost to a 3 appointment process. It's a 2 appointment close, but there's a 3rd appointment because at the second appointment, I don't go over portfolios. Like I loosely do. I tell like, we're going to put this into managed money. We're going to pick a portfolio that matches your risk score. I describe all that stuff, but I don't go over exactly what they are, what's in it. So I give them the plan. They say yes to the plan. We open the docs, and then they come back. We go over the actual portfolios and the allocations where we're at. So I'm like, do I schedule a call in between there? Do I wait for them to come back? I'm working through that process, but I don't like to be on the phone very much, especially if I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to like get on there and fumble. So that's why I think I'm going to do the homework and just call them all and try to get that process.
That's a good idea. That's for sure.
Yeah, but it's definitely a problem that I ran into. Don't do what I did. Learn from me. Like, do what Andrew does, not what I do there.
The other thing I do on that stuff, when I am just waiting, I just have a standing note to myself for everybody that's going through that process. I must make contact with them once a week. I must. Whether it's just a simple text message or an email or a quick phone call. It's like, hey Billy, I haven't heard anything yet from this custodian or from that. Like, just if you've gotten an email, let me know. But otherwise, nothing that you need to do. Just we're still waiting. And just that little touch point of I haven't forgotten. Like, and it keeps it in front of their mind. I mean, that's just kind of the way I operate on that. But I live and die by that task list every day. I get in there like, all right, who's in transfers, who's not, who's pending, who's not. And even doing that, I had one. I just finished it 2 weeks ago. We started the transfers in January. And it's June 27th. And it literally took 6 months to get the final transfer, because especially with 403Bs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They are a pain. Those custodians do not want to let go of that money for whatever reason. And that one took, when they need their own paperwork and they need wet signatures and they need a notary and they need a medallion and they need this and they need this, and they don't tell you all that stuff ahead of time.
That's the problem. There's
and it's these little rinky dink educational system in wherever, like you just have to stumble your way through it and not give up. And the lady was like, but endeared her to me. Like, she's never going to leave because she knows how hard I worked to get that money. And it wasn't like, it was less than 10% of her total portfolio. And it was just like, she's like, I'm so sorry that you have to. I'm like, no, that's what I do. Like, I just kept a really positive attitude. And every time we got on the phone with one of the reps from one of the companies, she's just like, I don't know how you maintained your temper in that. Because I would have just let her have it. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do? It's not her decision that it's taking forever. You just be polite, and it is what it is. Yeah, that's going to be my second hire is new business. The first one we did I call it a first impressions director. And it's the t-shirts and it's the ordering stuff and the seminars and experience stuff. But the next one for sure, I just don't want, like, I just don't want to do that. It's like the same thing that wears me out with the people. Like, it wears me out constantly being on the phone and chasing things. And I need a new business person for sure. I think for me, that's going to be a smart hire, but That CRM I was telling you about yesterday.
Yeah.
All that stuff you're describing, it tracks that.
Oh,
so that's why I was when he was showing me that, I was like, Richie's gonna love that. Yeah. I don't know if it makes sense right now.
I hope I don't love it, honestly, because
that price tag,
I don't want that shiny silver thing in front of me that I'm like, oh, I need that. It
was the data that it can pull. I was like, all the stuff that you're talking about, like how long it takes on average from like with specific carriers or for specific custodians, like where are the drag points in your business to make it more efficient.
It's based on your data, or is it based on like everybody's data they have?
Yours.
Yeah.
Yours. So that's when I looked at it, I was like, man, this is really cool. If you're trying to grow a team, because you want to know that stuff.
You want to know, hey, Dylan, it's taking you 5 times as long as Sarah over here. What's up?
Exactly right. Yeah. And he's like, one of the metrics he showed, he's like, yeah, we had this one guy, he wrote $8 million. He was a downline, a sub agent. He wrote $8 million. And on the surface, it's like, oh, that's really good. He's like, but the company had spent a lot of money to put him in front of a lot of opportunities. And what they discovered is any time that this guy was in an appointment where there was another man in the appointment, his close ratio went down to 2%.
Wow, funny.
And so they identified that he was really good at closing single women or widows, but anytime a husband was involved, he couldn't close to get out. He couldn't get out of the way.
Those daddy issues.
Maybe. So they basically sat him down and said, listen, you've done a good amount of business, but we've spent a lot of money to get you in front of all these clients that you haven't closed. So either we get you we figured out, because we're not going to segment our clients. You're not going to have just the women. You have to be able to do both. So either figure it out or you're done.
Yep.
And I was like, man, that's pretty granular.
That's very granular. But it's cool to figure that out, but yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. But you have to be doing a ton of seminars and a ton of leads to be able to have that data be meaningful, because otherwise you're shooting in the dark. You have no idea.
Right. So. Yeah. And I guess if you don't have a team too, like what do I mean?
That's what I said to him. I was like, for me, I'm creating a lifestyle business here where, it's not my goal to have 10 downline reps. So what am I tracking myself here? Like either I'm closing or I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, you're living by your own sword. You don't need to.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but it's really cool. It's neat. Yeah. We've digressed here.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna actually do something I don't normally do. I'm gonna mark it on the video, because I think we got into some really good stuff there.
Yeah.
That can really help out the audience. So.
Yeah.
The next one I think will also help out a lot, and I am excited about it.
Talk about AI.
Yeah, AI. I've been on a lot of webinars with AI. A lot of advisors are using it completely wrong.
Yeah.
Like irresponsibly wrong.
I agree.
Like gonna get the entire industry in trouble wrong.
Yeah, don't get us in trouble, guys.
Yeah, don't ruin it for everybody.
Right. This is a powerful tool. Stop abusing it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If you don't have it, you're screwed.
Right.
But if you're overusing it, you're also screwed. So we'll talk about what we're using. I use quite a bit of AI, and so we'll talk about that. I'm excited to see what the industry's doing.
Yep. A little teaser. It's an assistant, not a replacement.
There you go.
Don't replace your brain. You need to let it help you, but don't let it replace you.
Yeah, I've got a lot of thoughts around that. I'm very interested in it. And then after that, we'll do one with Keith in an interview with an advisor. That'll also be a lot of fun, something a little bit different. So
yeah, looking forward to it.
Coming up soon. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Go get some business.